Hey guys, Bushcraft 412 here. Today I want to talk about a common sense prep that a lot of us forget and miss in our daily preps because we get caught up in the world of guns and ammo and food, and that is our feet. In a shit hits the fan scenario, whatever you believe in, whether it's a societal collapse, financial collapse, disaster, zombie apocalypse, whatever, there's a couple important things that are going to pop up. And one of them is that in this new world we live in, your feet are going to be very important. You're going to be conducting manual labor. You're going to be a hunter-gatherer who's going to be getting your own food, doing everything on your own. And without a good pair of shoes, you're not going to make it. You don't want to be the guy when shit hits the fan 6 months down the line, you're the one walking around with rags wrapped around your feet. No, you're not going to do good walking around in rags, and part of that is being prepared for your feet. And here I have a couple different, single pairs of my different boots I own. And I just kind of wanted to show over like the kind of things you should be looking at when it comes to what you have for footwear, so that you are prepared for a drastic lifestyle change. Number one, I think any prepper should have no issue spending some good money on a good pair of boots. Cheap boots, it's not an area where we want to skimp money. I've done a lot of videos on budget things, and one thing I don't recommend being cheap on is your footwear. It really does make a big difference in quality. However, you don't got to go overboard. You don't got to spend $200-300 on a pair of boots. Usually the $50 to $100 range will get you a very high quality pair of footwear. So let's go over this real quick. A great investment for any prepper is a pair of patrol boots. Black, many different brand names out there. These ones here are Bates. They're side zip, which I really like, easy to get on and off. They're about $60 to $80 depending on where you get them. These ones here I've had for about 5 years and they're still in great shape. If you keep them clean and polish them here and there, these things will last you forever. They have a composite safety toe, so they are, if you are doing like any kind of construction or anything like that, it provides you with some protection. They're waterproof. They're a great item to have. You really can't go wrong with a pair of patrol boots. They're really comfortable to walk around in, especially when you got to put a lot of miles on them. They're not so good for backpacking or hunting because, they're not specific to that type of use, but they're a great all-around thing to have, especially if you got to bug out in a hurry or something like that. Good pair of patrol boots, you can't go wrong. Another thing you can't go wrong is a big pair of rubber knee highs. These ones here are about $40 out of Cabela's. I use them for hunting. It's always good to have because if you're in marshy or wet areas, it's a lot easier to keep a pair of knee-high rubber boots clean than a pair of like nylon or leather or whatever. It's just, they are invaluable when it comes to hunting, especially because when you hunt, you're not going to be hunting in perfect areas. You always seem to be hunting in wet, marshy, cold, miserable areas. So a good pair of rubber boots is a must. And I know it's very tempting to buy the cheap like $20 ones at Walmart, and I really don't agree with that because the rubber in them gets very brittle in the cold and they never seem to last more than a season, whereas these Cabela's here were probably about $49-50, and they're on their third season right now, and they have no signs of ripping or cracking, or they're still 100% waterproof. So I do believe in the better investment, because I went through a lot of pair of $20 knee highs before I figured out that you really got to spend the money. Having a decent mid-length hiker, waterproof hiker, is always a good idea. These are actually a Walmart brand, but they're kind of more the expensive end. They're about $40. Just kind of expensive for Walmart boots, but they're just a real simple waterproof hiker. Great to have. I wouldn't recommend the Walmart ones if you want them to last years and years, but for something that's just going to last you a couple seasons, the Walmart ones are fine. But if you can go with something better and you can afford better, go with it. Like on the contrary, this is a pair of Cabela's waterproof hikers. They're all nylon. They are insulated as well, so these are great in the winter, great in the cold weather. Waterproof, they're pretty high, you know, so if you're going through mud and muck and nasty stuff, they are great for your feet. These were about $60, and these are in their 4th or 5th season. So they are, and not only that, but I bring these boots very frequently snowshoeing. You can see the wear and tear from the snowshoe bindings. So I bring those snowshoeing a lot. These have seen a lot of hard use and have held up really good. I use them for hunting, camping, hiking, you know, you name it. They're comfortable enough where I can do pretty much anything in them. So a good pair, you know. Definitely if you're going to be hunting and you're bringing something like this, you're likely going to swamp that out, get it wet inside, nasty inside, and they're going to start rotting on you, you know. These are great for just general use, tromping around the woods, maybe foraging, whatever, but if you're going to be going into deep, nasty, marshy areas, you need a good high pair of hunting boots. Don't skimp. You know, you can, let's put it this way, guys. If you bring this pair of Walmart boots hunting for an entire season, it's likely going to last 1 season. You bring this for casual hiking out in the woods, dry kind of, you know, trail conditions, these will probably last quite a while, but they're not going to hold up like a good pair, you know. So spend the extra money when it comes to, especially, you know, shit hits the fan, your one source of getting food is going to be yourself. And, you know, do you really want to be walking around in the woods, in the mud, muck, with rags wrapped around your feet after 6 months because you didn't want to spend the extra $20 on a good pair? You know, think about it. Some of these, you know, like these rubber boots might last close to a lifetime. These hunters have probably got 2 or 3 more seasons. That's it. You know, they're in the end. But another good thing is a good pair of winter boots, especially if you live up here in the north like me. Not so important in the southern or western areas. But these are a pair of military surplus boots. They're rated for like -20 Fahrenheit. They are really, really heavy, very difficult to hike in, but are really great if you are hunting in cold weather, because I can sit perfectly still for hours and my feet stay really, really warm in these. And they have, the insulation is actually trapped in between 2 layers of rubber, so the insulation can't get wet. Really great thing. These are like $40. You know, I've done a video on these by themselves. These are a great item to have as a prepper, because especially if you live in the cold up here like I do, you know, frostbite sucks. I've had frostbite once. I don't ever want to get it again. Good investment in a good winter boot is a must if you live in warmer climates. Whoops. Excuse me, guys. Alright, and one more pair. This is just a cheap, probably $40, $50 pair of waterproof kind of desert boots. They're kind of cheap, nothing special. They're side zip, but the zipper sucks on them horrible. They're okay, but they were like $40. Nice kind of little budget thing, but you know what? They're really flimsy and cheap. You know, I wouldn't recommend getting, you know, if you're going to get a good pair of, you know, like military style boots, don't buy the knockoffs. These are knockoffs. They are not as good as the real surplus stuff. Get the real surplus stuff. Don't, you know, but I just want to point out you can get good surplus stuff. You know, the desert boots, the jungle boots, all that. That's why I pulled this out, not to show you, hey, I bought this cheap pair of knockoffs, but, you know, the military stuff works for the military. They march in that stuff day in, day out, horrible conditions with a lot of weight on their back. You can't go wrong with military stuff. Don't be a cheap ass like me and buy knockoffs. So, another great idea, because like I said, the military, they figured this stuff out. They've been doing this for years, years and years, marching, hiking, doing all this. You can't go wrong with their footwear. They've, you know, put it down to a science. So I hope you guys enjoyed a little about footwear. And just to summarize, guys, there's a lot of areas where you can be cheap in prepping and you can save money. This is one of the areas I don't recommend being cheap. Invest in good stuff, invest in good quality. You know, $50 to $100 will get you all the quality you need. Don't go overboard. You don't need to spend $200 on a pair of boots, but make sure you have good waterproof boots from knee-high all the way down to mid-length for different conditions for what you're doing. If you're hiking, hunting, gathering food, fishing, whatever, you're going to be doing this stuff day in, day out. Having good quality shoes is going to make you that person who is not walking around in rags with frostbite and no toes. So take that into consideration. Spend the extra dough. Get some good boots. You know, maybe even keep a pair or two in the box. Keep them new. Wouldn't hurt. And you got a pair for a nice, fresh, clean pair for when the shit hits the fan.